Hi students. Now in continuation we'll discuss the other parts of this chapter. Now we have discussed the what are endocrine glands and what are hormones. There are different types of hormones are there. We have divided on the basis of their action. Now, the glands can also be classified. Which glands? The endocrine glands can also be classified on the basis of their origin. Origin means here in which type of origin I am talking about here? Origin means the germ layer from where the gland or the part of the gland is actually originated. So I believe all of you know what are germ layers. See, germ layers, it is developed or it is developing during the embryonic development. Okay, so there are three layers, or there are three germ layers normally, and also on the basis of the number of germ layer present in certain animals, we can divide the animal also in two types and two categories, that is diploblastic and triploblastic. I hope all of you have already studied in the chapter of animal kingdom. So on the basis of the origin of the gland, which type of origin we are talking about here? We're talking about the origin from the germ layer. Which germ layer the particular gland is getting originated, or the part of that particular endocrine gland is originated. I hope it is clear. Now move on. The first is called, or the first one, the categories, there are three different germ layers, so there are three categories. First one is endodermal glands. Endodermal glands. See, all of you know that three germ layers are endoderm, then ectoderm and mesoderm. There are three layers. So first, the glands which are actually originated from endoderm germ layer, those endocrine glands are known as endodermal glands. Examples: thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, islets of Langerhans, the glands which are present in the stomach and intestinal region, which secrete local hormones, that is the gastric and intestinal endoderm. Okay. Now number two, it is ectodermal glands. That means the glands. Which glands? The endocrine. See, whatever the glands we are discussing here, now we are discussing only about the endocrine gland. So the glands which are originated from ectoderm germ layer are known as ectodermal gland. Examples: pineal gland, hypothalamus. These are the examples. So please don't be confused about the hypothalamus. I'm going to discuss why hypothalamus is also there in the endocrine gland. Okay. Next, number three, mesodermal gland. Mesodermal gland means the glands which are originated from the mesoderm or the mesoderm germ layer. Examples are ovaries, testes, etc. Now, apart from these different types of glands, we have divided or classified the glands on the basis of their origin. There are certain other glands which are having some different parts which are originated from different germ layers. So there are some special type of glands as well. So the number one, the gland which is a special type of gland in that case is adrenal gland. Now, in adrenal gland, all of you know it is having two parts. First is adrenal medulla, which is the inner part, and second, it is the adrenal cortex, which is the outer part. Now, adrenal medulla, which is the inner part, it develops from the mesoderm germ layer, and the outer part, that is the adrenal cortex, it develops from ectoderm. Okay, and that is why the adrenal gland is also known as, or it is also considered as, mesoectodermal in origin. It is also considered as mesoectodermal in origin, because both these parts are originating from two different germ layers. One is from mesoderm, another one is from ectoderm. So that's why it is called mesoectodermal in origin. Okay. Next special type of gland is your pituitary gland. Now pituitary gland, it is having three parts. First, anterior lobe. Second, middle lobe. Third is posterior lobe. Okay. So for that, you need to go to the next page. So here you can see the pituitary gland. It has three lobes. Anterior lobe, which is developed from endoderm. Then we have middle lobe, which is developed from ectoderm. Then we have the posterior lobe, that is the last one, third one, developed from ectoderm. So we can see this gland, or the different parts of the pituitary gland, is developed from two germ layers, namely endoderm and ectoderm. And that's why the pituitary is also considered as ectoendodermal in origin, or ectoendoderm in origin. Okay. Now we need to see the different glands which are present. That means the location of the glands which are present in our body one by one. So this is the diagram. This is the diagram. In the next video, I will also give you a more simple diagram. So let us discuss first. So first, you can see hypothalamus. It is the first gland which is present. You know the location of the hypothalamus. It is present on the floor of diencephalon. It is located on the floor of diencephalon, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is also known as master gland, or it is also considered as supreme commander. Now, hypothalamus is a part of nervous system. Even though it is controlling the endocrine glands, it is controlling the pituitary, then pituitary is controlling the other glands as well. So, in this way, the nervous system is actually controlling the endocrine system. Okay. So, we'll discuss everything in detail later on when we'll discuss hypothalamus. Now, the function of hypothalamus, what are the functions? Let us discuss a little bit about that. It controls the temperature, hunger, thirst, and sex drive. Right? Next, number 2, it is the pineal gland. The pineal gland, it was also considered as third eye. And it is actually working as body's internal clock. Previously, the scientists they were not able to understand the main function or basic function, but right now it is clear that it is working as a body's internal clock. We'll discuss it later in detail. Next is pituitary gland. Pituitary gland or hypophysis. It controls and regulates other endocrine glands. Just now I said that hypothalamus is controlling the pituitary and pituitary is controlling the other glands. How it is happening, how they are controlling, we will discuss later in detail. Okay, so that's why the hypothalamus, or we can say that endocrine system is controlling the, nervous system is controlling the endocrine system. Okay. Next is the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland, it is present. I can tell you, and all of you know that the Adam's apple, that is the location. Adam's apple, which is a little bit protruded in case of male, So there we can see the gland is present, that is called thyroid gland. What is the function of the thyroid gland? We'll discuss in late detail, but just have a small glimpse. It controls the calcium level in the blood. And there are some other functions as well. We'll discuss in detail later on. Now, in the thyroid gland only, we can see there are other small glands are also present in that area. Okay, and those small glands, they are 4 in number. There are 4 glands which are present on the thyroid gland area, and those glands are called parathyroid glands. Parathyroid glands. Okay. So this actually, I have done a small mistake. So please correct it. See, the thyroid gland, the function of the thyroid gland is to control the fuel use and body development. That means in metabolism. Okay, so we'll discuss in later. And calcium level in the blood, it is controlled by parathyroid gland. So that was a small mistake. Please make a note of it and please correct it. So parathyroid gland is responsible for the control of calcium level in the blood. And thyroid gland, they control the fuel use, or fuel use means there is the energy or the not energy actually, the source of energy, the food, the nutrients, what we are actually consuming. So the use of that is finally we can talk about the metabolism actually and the body development. So those things are controlled by the thyroid gland. We'll discuss in detail later on. Next is the thymus gland. Okay. So thymus gland, it is present in the respiratory area. It is present in the respiratory area. And the most interesting thing about the thymus is that in case of children, it is actually bigger in size. And the more we get older, the size of the thymus is actually reducing. So in case of the children, it is helping them to fight again infection, and it is working as and boosting the immunity. Okay. Next is your important, the endocrine gland we need to discuss first. That is your adrenal gland. Okay. So adrenal gland which are present on the kidney. I have discussed in the, I think all of you know that it is the location of the adrenal gland. It is present on the kidney. Okay. And it controls the salt and water balance in the body. It controls the salt and water balance in the body. Then the next endocrine gland, that is your pancreas. Okay, that is the pancreas. Now pancreas, it controls the level of sugar in the blood. We know by forming the hormone called insulin. Right? So we'll discuss everything in detail later on. Next, the endocrine gland, the important, the endocrine gland what we have in our body, that is ovary. Okay, that is ovary. And ovary is present in case of female. Okay, or we can call it as the female part, or the female endocrine gland, specialized, or we can only see these ovaries in case of female, and in case of male we have testes. So these are also producing, the testes are also producing different types of hormone in case of male, and ovaries are also producing different types of hormones in case of female. So we'll discuss all the things in detail. And other than that, there are certain things I can see. I think all of you can see heart, stomach, then placenta. These things are not necessary right now, because we are only going to discuss about the endocrine gland precisely. So these are the endocrine glands what we have in our body, and these are the locations. So no need to mark this other than the Endocrine gland, no need to mark, like heart, stomach, no need to mark all those things. And I will, in the next video, I will give you a simple diagram which will be very easy for you to understand. I hope till now it is clear. Thank you. We'll meet in the